Thank you, Honourable Speaker, sir. Honourable Prime Minister, Honourable Leader of the Opposition, esteemed members of Parliament, fellow Fijians joining via the Parliament live stream. I stand before you today to discuss an important aspect of our nation's maritime policy, the establishment of an international maritime organization, regional presence office, and our active participation in key IMO meetings. These efforts are integral to safeguarding our marine environment, enhancing maritime safety, and promoting sustainable development. Honourable Speaker, the international shipping industry is responsible for transporting 90% of the world's commodities, making it not only the most cost-effective option for international import and export, but also the safest and most eco-friendly mode of transport, as emphasized by Ocean Insights. Employing approximately 1.5 million individuals worldwide, the shipping industry is a significant source of employment. However, it is predominantly male, with females making up only 2% of all seafarers. In our region, the maritime shipping industry plays a critical role, serving as the backbone of transportation of Pacific Island countries and their communities by moving the majority of people, goods, and resources. This sector is vital for fostering trade and economic growth, influencing nearly every aspect of development initiatives. In terms of the establishment of the IMO Regional Office, or RPO, so as Fiji has long recognized the pivotal role that the IMO plays in the global maritime industry, the establishment of a regional presence office, as endorsed by government in our region, is a testament to our commitment to supporting IMO's initiatives and ensuring that the unique needs of Pacific Island countries are addressed. The RPO, or Regional Office, will serve as a hub for regional cooperation, providing technical assistance, capacity building, and facilitating the implementation of IMO conventions and standards. It will also enhance our ability to respond effectively to maritime challenges, including environment protection, safety, and security. By having a regional office, we can ensure that our maritime policies are aligned with international standards and best practices, while also tailoring them to a specific regional context. On 18 March 2024, during the margins of the Marine Environment Protection Committee, MEPC 81, I had the honor of signing the Memorandum of Understanding on the RPO on behalf of the Government of the Republic of Fiji with the IMO Secretary General, Mr. Arsenio Domingos, on behalf of the IMO. The MOU outlines the framework for establishing the IMO Regional Presence Office in Fiji, designed to enhance maritime development in the region, including some of the objectives to bridge the gap in maritime development needs and execution, the continued support in terms of IMO support to the region, especially in standards and regulations in alignment with international norms. So there was also discussion on the International Maritime Organization greenhouse gas emissions, or GHG reduction negotiations. The gravity of the climate crisis cannot be overstated. It is imperative for us to take resolute and decisive measures to alleviate its impacts. Fiji is part of an alliance of high ambition Pacific states, and we call ourselves in that group the six-pack, that have been actively participating in the IMO GHG emission reduction negotiations. The Pacific's role is well recognized as being catalytic to achieving the high levels of ambition agreed in the 2023 revised IMO strategy. Honourable Speaker, sir, the 2023 revised IMO GHG strategy represents a comprehensive and ambitious plan to address climate change by significantly reducing the carbon footprint of the maritime industry. For the information of this August House, the revised IMO GHG strategy sets ambitious targets for the maritime sector to reduce its emissions, aligning with the broader goal of limiting global warming in accordance with the Paris Agreement. Key targets under the revised strategy including achieving a reduction of the carbon intensity of international shipping as measured by carbon dioxide emissions per transport work by at least 40% by 2030 and 70% by 2050, compared to 2008 levels. Moreover, the strategy aims for the total GHG emissions from international shipping to be reduced by at least 50% by 2050, also compared to 2008 levels. These targets represent a significant step towards decarbonization of the sector, with further discussions anticipated in setting a pathway towards full carbonization by the end of the century. Having agreed on the 2023 strategy, negotiations on GHG reduction for shipping at IMO will culminate in 2025 in agreement of a basket of measures to achieve the IMO's 2023 strategy for the decarbonization of shipping by 2050, including an economic measure that puts a price on GHG emissions. MEPC 82 in October 2024 through to MEPC 83 next May is the critical period for negotiating out the detail of the proposed measures and disbursement of revenues. The Pacific Alliance have previously submitted that the measures to be adopted should comprise a simple global fuel standard, or GFS, and a universal mandatory levy of all international maritime GHG emissions with an entry price of $150 per ton CO2 equivalent. Global fuel standards seek to promote the use of cleaner, more environmentally friendly fuels to minimize the environmental impact of shipping. I am happy to say that there is a growing consensus around a universal levy as the leading contender from many states at the IMO meeting. So the Pacific Alliance has successfully inserted the concept of an equitable transition into the strategy and has called for at least 50% of revenues to flow to the global south, in particular the small island developing states and the least developed countries, LDCs. Potential revenues from IMO measures could be as high as 100 billion per annum. The earliest these measures will flow in any real quantity is 2027, if we do our homework and also push for this. If our negotiators are successful in confirming the basket of measures and revenue disbursement architecture by 2025. Today, IMO remain committed to these highly ambitious timelines. There are two critical negotiation rounds at IMO in September, October 2024 and April 2025, with submission deadlines in early 2024 and February 2025 respectively. The Pacific will need to make multiple submissions to both rounds, with the content dependent on the outcome of ongoing bilateral negotiations with multiple partners. Mr. Speaker, sir, our active participation at IMO is crucial for advancing our national interests and contributing to global maritime governance, in addition to the basket of measures and also the financial rewards for our island countries as highly affected by climate change. Fiji has been vocal and proactive member in the IMO, and we have reaffirmed our commitment to reducing greenhouse gas emissions, and we advocate for stronger measures. We have also highlighted the need for financial mechanisms to support our developing countries, and we will continue to participate in various international working groups focusing on specific issues such as reduction of sulfur oxide emissions, developing of low carbon and zero carbon fuels, and the protection of vulnerable marine ecosystems. Our experts have consistently provided valuable insights and best practices from our regional experiences. Our Honorable Prime Minister has mentioned the Pacific Blue Shipping Partnerships, and of course, my predecessor, Honorable Usamate, and the leader of the opposition. And again, this is an important initiative which we will continue to support. Domestic shipping had no profile a decade ago. Today, in part due to the success of the Pacific Alliance, there is significant understanding amongst donors. And Fiji and RMI agreed to co-chair the Pacific Blue Shipping Partnership, which calls for an investment of 500 million in climate financing across 6 Pacific Island states. The Honorable Prime Minister has reaffirmed Fiji's commitment to the Pacific Blue Shipping Partnerships at the margins of COP28 in terms of green shipping, leading the global energy transition. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Republic of Marshall Islands is a key partner, and we will continue to liaise closely with them. And the RMI Special Envoy for Maritime Decarbonization, His Excellency Ambassador Ishoda, has invited Fiji to join him in hosting a Ministerial Donor Council in Korea, Media, with the intention of bringing together Pacific ministers with our major bilateral partners and the Global Climate Fund to bring focus and high-level political support to this initiative and to ensure it remains firmly under country control. This would be the first major multi-country application to the GCF of its kind. Ministers from Tuvalu and Vanuatu have already signaled their commitment to support this approach, and the EU and government of Netherlands have been approached to support. This proposal would fit well with the existing Fijian initiatives, in particular the agreement with Australia for the revitalization of shipbuilding and ship repair in Fiji. Given our position as a major transshipment hub, Fiji is best positioned for the PBSP countries to act as the region's technology transfer hub with numerous multipliers for Fiji's engineering, ship repair, maintenance industries, its maritime facilities, and financing and insurance subsectors. Mr. Speaker, sir, our engagement with IMO is not just about compliance with international regulations. It is about shaping the future and ensuring that we have the best outcomes for our nation of Fiji and for our peoples. Fiji is committed to be a leader in sustainable maritime development and ensuring that our maritime industry contributes effectively to our economy and our global community. So in conclusion, I wish to acknowledge the establishment of the IMO regional office and our active participation in terms of all the contributions of all the officials and our regional partner countries. And I thank the Honourable Prime Minister for reaffirming our stance at the IMO when he met the Secretary General in his recent visit to the UK. I also acknowledge and thank the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Seri Ratu, and my predecessor, Honourable Chanu Samate, for their contributions in the area of climate change and the previous work done in terms of the IMO and our negotiations. And we as a coalition government will continue to build upon the work of our past governments prior to us. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.